Berkshire Choral International creates a world of unique musical experiences for skilled amateur singers. You bring your voice and a spirit of adventure. We add the elements for the ultimate choral experience. World-class conductors and faculty, exciting repertoire, inspiring travel, one-of-a-kind opportunities to sing in great concert halls with a professional orchestra, and a big chorus of singers like you. Together, we'll create choral magic.
Hi, I'm Steve Smith, President of Berkshire Choral International. I'm here with Frank Nemhauser, our music director, and we are so excited to share with you our plans for our summer 2022 season here at Berkshire Choral. Frank, it has been 2 years since we've sung in person.
Amazing. We've been in the desert, and now we see some water on the horizon. It's very exciting.
What have you missed most?
I've missed the community. I've missed getting to see familiar faces, choristers, faculty that I've known for many, many years, and the sense of community that we find in singing.
Right. So whether you're a returning singer or joining us for the first time, we're committed to giving you a safe and exciting summer. I know that singer safety has been on the top of our minds through all of this, and I'm sure it's on everybody's mind. So just from the outset, know that for 2022, we're going to be requiring proof of vaccination for everyone who's participating with us during the summer. Our singers, faculty, staff, conductors, so that we can provide the most secure experience we can for you. And in addition, because we don't know what things are going to be like, next summer, we'll add in whatever safety measures might be necessary to be sure the experience is a good one for people. And also, while I understand that people may have concerns right now, people's tuition won't be due until March, so there's a lot of time for us to figure out what the world's going to be like. So Frank, we're beginning our season with a new concept that we're calling a weekend choral adventure. So rather than our traditional full week where we're preparing a big concert with a full orchestra, this is more of a workshop experience,
which we're calling the Silent Canon. And this will include repertoire of pieces that you may not know, but we think you should know, and composers that you don't know or you may not know. Anthony Tresick King is our conductor. He's terrific.
Anthony's a little bit of a choral music celebrity in Boston. He's hosted a TV show on choral singing, and he's really a national expert on music of BIPOC composers. And in this day when we're really trying to learn to be responsive to some of the music that has been overlooked, I'm really excited that we can give this opportunity to our singers.
Absolutely.
The new Tanglewood Learning Institute, located on Tanglewood's historic campus in Lenox, Massachusetts, will host our first weekend adventure. You'll sing with Anthony Tresick King, Director of Choral Activities at the Hart School and resident conductor with Boston's Handel and Haydn Society. Dr. Tresick King has developed an international reputation exploring socially relevant issues through emotionally immersive programs.
So why don't you listen to my recent conversation with Anthony Tresick King. I'm here with Dr. Anthony Tresick King. Welcome, Anthony. It's great to have you.
Hello, Frank. It's great to be here. Just excited to be able to have the opportunity to work with you this year. For those of you who don't know me, again, my name is Anthony Tresick King, and I'm the Director of Choral Activities at the Hart School at the University of Hartford, and also resident conductor with the Handel and Haydn Society. So I'm just excited to be working with you this year.
We are looking forward to this weekend workshop, which we are calling the Silent Canon.
My research in the last couple of years has really been focused in on composers of African descent and largely a lot of protest music. In the late 19th century and throughout the 20th century, there's a wealth of composers that's writing fantastic music, both for small choral octavos or large choral orchestral works like Det's Ordering of Moses, for example, that are just these great works that need to be part of what we listen to on a regular basis.
Can you clue us in, maybe give us an example or two of the music that we'll be looking at during our weekend workshop?
Florence Price, she has a wonderful a piece called Resignation that is not a traditional spiritual, but is, kind of her take on a spiritual-esque motet. It's a wonderful short little piece that I'm excited to bring to this particular program. Also looking at programming Nathaniel Dett, because I just love his work. I'm also considering Don't Be Afraid by Jennifer McMillan, which highlights the LGBTQ struggle, particularly within North America. So that's something that I'm looking at bringing into the program as well.
Wonderful. What's your take on how choral music can help us with current events, issues of social justice, civic issues in general?
Yeah, Frank, that's a great question. I think choral music is uniquely suited to help us with these conversations. For one, at the very basic levels, to help us process things in a kind of group communal matter. Bringing in these topics through the music is kind of my entry point. So I firmly believe that choral music is a great vehicle for beginning these conversations and learning how to talk about difficult things, which is something else that we're gonna be doing. Aside from music learning. We're going to learn how to have conversations around difficult topics, which is something that we're struggling with right now. Like, how do we deal with this? How do we connect with people in a way that's authentic so that everybody feels heard in the conversation? In the choir, there's equal status. We're all equal. In other areas, that's not necessarily the case. Yeah. But in a choir, you're a singer, you're a singer, you're a singer. And every voice is important and every voice needs to be heard. And that kind of permeates that environment.
Can you talk a little bit about, let us know what a rehearsal with you might be like, a typical rehearsal, not necessarily the weekend we're talking about, but what's it like to sing with you?
I like to have fun. My rehearsals typically are pretty fast paced. And I like to kind of whip through things and go very quickly, and then taking time to pause to digest. So it's high expectations, but it's in a way that nurtures, because I think that the choir and the choral experience is really not mine. I'm just there as a facilitator. I'm there to help them do their job and help them do it well. So whatever it is that I need to do to make that happen, we want to make that happen.
We're all looking forward to finding out. Anything in conclusion you'd like to add?
No, I'm just very excited for this opportunity and to be a part of BCI. That you guys do just such tremendous work, and it's really is an honor to be there and to take part in next season.
Thank you. We're so looking forward to your workshop.
Awesome.
Take care.
All right. Thank you.
Come with us to the picturesque foothills of California's wine country and the state-of-the-art Green Music Center. Our conductor for the week is Dr. Catherine Fitzgibbon, Director of Choral Activities at Lewis and Clark College and founder of the trailblazing Resonance Ensemble. We'll perform Rafe Vaughan Williams' impassioned Dona Nobis Pacem and Damien Jeter's timely Cantata for a More Hopeful Tomorrow.
So our signature singing weeks are sort of the choral camp of people's dreams, and I'm so happy that we're back to that. For our first one this summer, we're headed off to California Wine Country and the Green Music Center at Sonoma State University. Tell us a little bit about that program.
It's wonderful. Our conductor is Catherine Fitzgibbon. She is professor of music at Lewis and Clark College, director of choral activities there in Portland, Oregon. She is the founder and artistic director of the Resonance Ensemble in Portland.
And she won Chorus America's Prize for yes. Entrepreneurial zeal, which is maybe the best phrase ever.
Yes, thank you. We have a program which is a new piece for us and a new composer. Damien Jeter has composed a wonderful piece called Cantata for a More Hopeful Tomorrow. And we're pairing that with the Vaughan Williams Dona Nobis Pacem. I think both pieces have a sense of there is difficulty in the world, but we move toward hope.
And after what we've all been through, I think this is a really timely way to have choral music tell the story of how we move on and things get better.
Yes. And as you said, the Green Music Center is beautiful. The concert hall is a virtual replica of Ozawa Hall at Tanglewood.
Right.
And the concert hall is right on campus.
Yeah,
as
and we're
well.
singing with the Santa Rosa Symphony, so it's really going to be a great week.
Yes.
And I'm imagining some trips to wineries in the afternoons.
Well, twist my arm.
I'll see you there.
Yes, okay. So now I'm here with Kathy Fitzgibbon. Kathy, great to see you. Would you introduce yourselves to the audience who may not know you?
Great. Well, thanks for having me, Frank. I'm Kathy Fitzgibbon, and I'm the Artistic Director of Resonance Ensemble in Portland, Oregon, and also Professor of Music at Lewis and Clark College.
Let's talk about the repertoire. The two pieces, one by Damien Jeter, one by Vaughan Williams. It's an unusual pairing, but I think it works really well. Do you want to talk a little bit about how we came up with this idea?
Yes, sure thing. So Damien Jeter's piece, Cantata for a More Hopeful Tomorrow, is one that Damien wrote during the pandemic and commissioned by our friends at the Washington Chorus. He's based here in Portland, and I've premiered a number of his work. We share a philosophy that music and art in general can really foster empathy, can create change in the world, can really truly make a difference. I think Damien as a composer is just brilliant at blending a sense of purpose in everything he writes with a just phenomenal compositional style. He writes for the voice with such intuition and expressive qualities. This particular piece spoke to me because he is mirroring a Bach idea and literally quoting Bach and Bach chorales as he tells a story of going from darkness and tragedy into light and hope. And it's interweaving Bach and spirituals in a way that feels magically organic and very intentional and very much something that I think all of us as choral singers can deeply relate to. And there's something about that arc of the piece that goes from a story of conflict and of despair into hope and transformation that reminded both of us, Frank and I, of the Vaughan Williams Dona Nobis Pacem, which I feel as though those two pieces are like holding hands and both have that kind of opportunity for us as choral singers to really present something deeply inspiring and that really connects with audiences. And also, I mean, Vaughan Williams, he's also okay at writing for the voice, ha ha ha. So it's just gonna feel good all week long, I think, to be singing those two works. So that's
Yes.
also really exciting.
Yes, and feel good singing the music and those texts.
Damien's work, if you're thinking, oh, it's new music and it's gonna be, if you imagine it to be angular or difficult and everything, that's not Damien's style. You can understand how your voice part relates to the other voice parts, relates to the harmonies, and it just, again, comes together in a way that I think for choral singers will feel very, very intuitive.
And a lot of our singers will recognize the Bach quotes.
Yes, you will recognize the Bach quotes, you will recognize the spirituals, you will feel as though it's a new piece that you've known all your life.
Oh, wonderful. You talked a little bit earlier about your long experience with BCI. Can you talk a little bit about how that has helped you over the years as a musician and a conductor?
If you can do it in a week, you can certainly do it in a long extended rehearsal period with your own choir where you already have the benefit of that long relationship. But this is like just learning from these great conductors about how you can do that incredibly efficiently and lovingly and and what works to really create a sense of cohesion and vocal health and all of the different factors that are emphasized so beautifully in MPCI week. So I find that it has shaped me so completely, as well as being the source of so many great lifelong friendships that are so deeply important to me.
Well, we're thrilled to have you back conducting for us, and we're so looking forward to working with you again.
Thank you. Likewise, I cannot wait. I am so looking forward to it as well.
Good. Great to see you, Kathy.
Great to see you too.
Immerse yourself in a dramatic performance of Handel's oratorio, Judas Maccabeus, a heroic tale of resistance and triumph. Juilliard's Gary Thor Wedo, one of today's leading opera conductors, brings his Baroque expertise to this work that rivals Messiah in choral majesty. Will be based in the summer arts mecca of Saratoga Springs, New York at Skidmore College.
So in July, we head to the Arts Mecca of Saratoga Springs, New York. Beautiful facility, and this is going to be a Baroque week at its grandest.
Yes, Gary Wedo is conducting for us. He's well known as a Baroque music specialist. Conducted for us several times. We're doing Handel Judas Maccabeus, one of the great Handel oratorios, which we haven't done in quite some time. Very exciting. Chorus is full of drama and great beauty at the same time. We're at Skidmore College, which is a beautiful campus.
It's absolutely lovely. It's easy to get around. The hall is gorgeous.
Hall is beautiful, also right on campus. And the Zanko Music Hall, they have a wonderful concert series there. We'll be working with the Albany Symphony Orchestra, and another great week planned. And now I'm here with Gary Wedo. Gary, it's wonderful to see you as always. Why don't you introduce yourself to those listening who may not know you?
It is so wonderful to see you and to be with you and the members of Berkshire Choral International. I started out as a keyboard player and made my living as an accompanist. And then I had a second career as a chorus master. I was chorus master at the Santa Fe Opera many years, where I like to tell people Joyce DiDonato sang in my chorus. I was chorus master at the Canadian Opera Company and at the New York City Opera for many years. And now I've transitioned, about 30 years ago, I transitioned into my third career as a conductor, and I conduct primarily opera, but every chance I can, I try and conduct oratorio, because that was one of my first great loves.
You know, you've conducted so much Baroque music, both opera and oratorio. Can you talk a little bit about your approach to this music, if that's quantifiable?
I like to tell people that Baroque music is one of two things. It's either based on rhetoric, speech patterns, imitative of speech or words, or expressive poetic thoughts, or it's based on dance. And this combination of text and rhythm and dance is so exciting. And I like to think of this music as almost jazz-like. It was contemporary music at one point. And I feel in the 19th and early 20th century, Handel was revered so much that you couldn't perform it unless you did it in a reverential manner. But everything we know about him as a person shows him as a very lively human being with a wonderful sense of humor, a great sense of drama. And so I feel his music has this incredible rhythm behind it, which is the dance, and has this incredible oratory, rhetorical nature. The text always comes forward in Handel. The text becomes music, and there are these huge dramatic scenes where an aria becomes a chorus and becomes a huge scene. Handel in Judas Maccabeus brings all of his dramatic structure to the oratorio plate.
It's fascinating that you said that, because I was just going to ask you about the connection between your conducting of opera and your love of oratorio, and you put it so beautifully, the drama which connects both. Handel composed many operas, and he was a man of the stage and a man of drama.
Yes. And he brings, I feel oratorio is kind of a wolf in sheep's clothing. The beginnings of oratorio were probably to keep opera companies employed during Lent. And to give the opera singers, the orchestra, something to do when the theaters were closed. But it became this significant musical form that has so many masterpieces, but it is clearly a dramatic art. And in the hands of somebody like Handel, it becomes a supreme masterpiece.
You've conducted for us many times. Can you talk a little bit about what keeps you coming back?
I am surrounded at BCI by singers who love this repertoire and who know this repertoire and who are dedicated to performing it. You're with your tribe, you're with your group. It's this connection of great repertoire in a great space with wonderful people who in 24 hours are your best friends.
Yes. And lastly, can you just give us a brief idea, maybe a snapshot of what a rehearsal with Gary Wado is like?
Well, I feel very keenly about two things. My two goals in every rehearsal: to declaim the text in a way that is meaningful and clear for the audience, and to sing as beautifully and as healthily as we possibly can. They're all so connected. You can't really, in Handel, tear them apart.
That sounds so inviting. I think I'm going to go sign up as soon as we're done talking.
I think you're signed up, Frank.
Probably. Gary, it's always wonderful to see you. Thank you so much, and we look forward to working with you once again.
And I with you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Our season finale takes us to the Mediterranean coast and Barcelona, Spain, one of Europe's most vibrant cities. This week includes a half-day city tour and optional visits to the Picasso Museum and Montserrat. Grant Gershon, music director of the Los Angeles Master Chorale, will conduct Poulenc's jaunty and radiant Gloria, paired with Mendelssohn's stirring Hymn of Praise. Accompanied by orchestra and organ, will perform in the world-famous Palau de la Música, Barcelona's breathtaking Art Nouveau concert hall.
This for me is like one of those bucket list trips that I have dreamed about now for 2 years because it was postponed in 2020. So tell us but things have changed. So tell us a little bit about the week.
Yes, so we're so excited to be going to Barcelona. Grant Gershon is conducting for us, one of your and my favorite conductors. He's so excited to be returning to us. and he'll be conducting the Poulenc Gloria and the Mendelssohn Lobgesang. Many of you probably know the Poulenc. Some of you may know the Mendelssohn, but it's one of those big choral pieces that's just full of exciting Mendelssohn choruses. It was written as Symphony No. 2. We'll be doing only the choral portion of it in this stunningly beautiful concert hall, the Palau de la Musica.
It is, well, you'll see the picture, but it defies description. It's just sort of beyond.
It's so beautiful, and it was built for choral music.
And there's a famous organ there. We'll use the organ in the Mendelssohn. So this program, this has it all.
Yes. And now I'm here with Grant Gershon. Grant, it's so great to see you.
Frank, likewise.
Why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about yourselves for people who may not be familiar with your work?
Sure. I'm Grant Gershon. I'm the artistic director of the LA Master Chorale, and I'm also the resident conductor at LA Opera. So I'm from Los Angeles originally. I love it on the West Coast, and this is, I believe, this is my fourth time with BCI. So I'm super excited to be returning.
Great. We're really excited to have you return as well. Can we talk about the pairing of these two works? They, on the one hand, they seem so different, yet I like the idea of putting these two together. What comes to mind when you think about these two pieces?
Well, yeah, I love a yin yang kind of program, and the Poulenc Gloria and the Mendelssohn Lobgesang. I mean, it's true, they're very different sound worlds and very different aesthetics. At the same time, there's a lot that binds the two pieces together. And, I think that the composers themselves, each of them had a very personal relationship with their faith. And you see that in the music. And the fact that Mendelssohn's grandfather was the famous rabbi and philosopher Moses Mendelssohn, even though Mendelssohn himself converted to Christianity when he was quite young, I think he was really thinking about his roots as he wrote the Lobgesang and setting psalms and other passages from the Hebrew Bible. And similarly with Poulenc, he was not a demonstratively religious composer, but his faith was very close to his heart, and many of his most touching pieces are his choral faith-based pieces, and I think the Poulenc Gloria is just the crowning achievement there. So pairing these two pieces together, I think, is really fun and exciting.
You talked about the fact that you're returning for your fourth time. Tell us a little bit about what keeps you coming back to BCI.
What I love about BCI for myself, and this is just very personal and very selfish, is it kind of takes me back to my very first transformative choral experiences. I sang the Mozart Requiem the summer after my freshman year of high school, and it was a 2-week choral program for high school students in the mountains near Southern California, and that was my Saul on the road to Damascus moment, where I just became obsessed with choral music because of the community that I discovered, as well as singing this great music. So for me, being involved in BCI is a way for me to return to those roots and just that feeling of pure joy of making music together, making music with a group of new friends, discovering things together, and then having this huge crowning achievement at the end of our time together, a performance of these major works. I just think it makes me feel like I'm 14 years old.
Wonderful. How great. Well, you just touched on this a little bit. You do so much work with professional musicians, and how does that approach inform your work with volunteers, such as a BCI chorus?
No matter who I'm working with, I mean, what you're going for is the same thing, is a performance that is full of heart, full of communication, infused with the spirit of the piece. And so, my approach really, no matter who I'm working with, is that the rehearsals are fun and productive in equal measure. That everybody that I'm working with is a great artist, and it's just a matter of unlocking what's there and then channeling that together as a group. There's no substitute. There's no feeling I can think of for when I'm in a tenor section or in a bass section these days, because my voice is lowered. But and you feel that pride that is infusing your entire section, and everybody is on the same page and working towards the same goals and kind of lifting each other up. That's what I'm always looking for, to create that environment in every rehearsal and every performance, because that's just, if I was a singer, that's how I would want to feel.
Yeah, terrific. So again, you touched on this a bit, but I was going to ask you to describe what a rehearsal with Grant Gershon is like.
My rehearsals are all about creating a framework for success. So we talk a lot about vocal health, because in pieces like the Gloria and the Lobgesang, stamina is important, and that is true no matter what level of singer you are, or what point in your development you are. So making sure that everybody is singing as healthily as possible. I also really pace rehearsals well so that people do not get overtired and overextended, especially in a situation like this where we're rehearsing very intensively in terms of the amount of time. I like to think there's always a lot of fun involved in these rehearsals as well. Things stay light, but they're also very productive. I'm obsessed with efficiency in rehearsal and not wasting people's time. And so just making sure that from the beginning of rehearsal to the end, we all have a very clear idea of where we need to get to and what the trajectory will be. And it's eye on the prize at all times. But I'll still share a goofy story.
Yes, good. Good. Well, this is terrific. We're so looking forward to having you work with us again. Any final thoughts that you want to leave with us today?
Well, I would just say, especially coming out of the period that we're coming out of, where we've been so isolated, I think that the opportunity to come together with this music, with these colleagues, and can we just say Barcelona? Oh my goodness. So, to me, this is just such a magical combination. I think it's going to be an extraordinary week, and I cannot wait to be back with everybody.
Me too. We're so looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Grant.
Frank, thank you. Cheers.
So, thanks so much for joining us for this sneak peek into our 2022 season. We're really happy you're here, Frank. I've been at BCI for 2 years. This is my first summer with us. I'm so looking forward to it.
Yes, I'm so excited about next summer, both the return, but even specifically these conductors and these pieces. Wonderful, wonderful. Welcome back for everybody.
It's time to make some music together again.
Good idea.
Yeah.
All of the details for our 2022 season are available at berkshirechoral.org, where you can download our brochure and find answers to many of your questions. First priority registration is open online now through November 30th. If you are a first-time attendee, you are eligible for a newcomer discount at 25% off our standard tuition, plus a waived application fee. And if you are a singer 18 to 45 years old, you can take advantage of our next generation discount of 35% plus a waived application fee. Join us for the joy, the musical inspiration, and the community connection that is the Berkshire Choral Experience. It's time to sing together again. Apply today at berkshirechoral.org.